I just love to create. I love to inspire.
Please welcome to the stage the creator of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley! That's the guy. Also, Archive, huge clutch on the message. I totally forgot it was today for the Summer Games Fest. Thanks for the reminder.
It's a good one, don't worry. All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Summer Game Fest, gaming's biggest global showcase of what's next. You know, we started SGF back in 2020 because we didn't want to lose that magic moment every June when gamers around the world come together to hype ourselves about the future. New worlds, new stories, new characters, and yeah, maybe the return of some fan favorites too. This is our 7th and biggest SGF, and I have to say, guys, the magic is back. We have a great show for you today.
Yeah!
Now, over the next 2 hours, we, alongside some of the world's most talented game developers, are going to show you why gaming's best days are right ahead of us. What I love about SGF is that we put platforms and rivalries aside. It doesn't matter where you play, everyone is welcome here today. And right now, everyone has a lot of games to play. As you can see behind me, in just the first 5 months of 2026, Steam saw a record-setting 9,265 new game releases, and that's up from 7,800 last year. There are now more games and more creators than at any point in the history of this great medium. Now, sure,
because of AI.
Those numbers
True.
think, how can anyone possibly?
AI definitely helps pump out some slop shit.
You look closer. So far this year, Steam, 10 of those.
What the hell just happened there?
Anyone possibly break through with their game, but then you look closer.
Hold on, something just glitched.
Isn't that great? Absolutely, and most of them were brand new IPs like Nugenics, Windrose, or Far Far West. That tells you something important. Players, you guys are hungry for new experiences. You want originality, games at different price points. And when developers take bold, creative swings, turns out you guys show up for them. Really great, so congratulations to all those games.
For the most part. I agree with that sentiment for the most part.
Some games, they become
I think there's some incredible games that just never get the audience that I think they deserve.
And today, both of those kinds of success matter. The truth is, not every game has to be for everyone. That's what makes this medium so exciting right now and makes SGF so rewarding. Because this show helps drive discovery. I hope you find your next favorite game today. So get ready to get wishlisting. Should we get on with the show?
Yeah! Yeah!
Okay. It's gonna be a fun ride. So let's get started with our preview of what's ahead with our first announcement.
This Arkham? Shit was looking straight out of Arkham there. Volume is max, bro. I don't know what you want me to do about that.
Oui? Yes? So, you're the American who called earlier. The sister of the man on the 3rd floor. Ah, welcome to Paris. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, it definitely looks Resident Evil-esque.
Freezing. Come in. Come in. We don't want you to catch a cold. I hate to say it, but your brother is, well, quite odd. In we go.
Oh my god, why am I getting like a glitch here? Oh my god, what a disaster. Hold on, let me try the Twitch stream.
Oh la la. Mais quel pagaille! He's made such a mess again. Think, I just cleaned it up a week ago. It's like a boulder rolled through here. Huh?
Hello? Is this Albert Wesker? Who's at my door? Yeah, it's definitely Resident Evil. Code Veronica. Holy. The Code Veronica remake is real.
Don't move. Claire Redfield.
God, Resident Evil's just cooking, bro. Resident Evil has had like a really good handful of like the last 6 years. That's hype. That's very hype.
Capcom on a roll. What a way to kick off the show. Resident Evil Veronica revisits a classic title from the Resident Evil universe, reimagining the experience for today's players. Thank you to Takeuchi-san and Capcom for that incredible news. Now, some surprise breaking news from one of the top independent game studios in the world.
That is so fucking cool, man. I like Code Veronica. The thing I hate about it is just all the backtracking
there. I'm Cuphead
and the
here
potential
at Studio
soft locking.
MDHR headquarters.
I'm looking forward to that.
And today, we have a special announcement for all of you. We're happy to confirm that development has begun on a brand new, hand-animated Cuphead video game.
Let's go!
Our talented team is hard at work on this ambitious project, which will take Cuphead and friends on a fresh, exciting adventure. It's still in early stages, but we look forward to revealing more when the time is right. Well, from all of us here at Studio MDHR, thank you for...
Answer it, answer it! It's the studio saying they have a trailer ready.
Hello? Yes? Oh, indeed. Oh, you want me to tell them? Yes, I'll tell them.
Fuck.
Yes, right now. Well, it seems I have one more surprise. A small team within our studio has been working in secret on something completely different. This new project is a love letter to the era that brought us into the world of video games. We have prepared a sneak peek, and I'd say... it's pretty radical. Over here? Ahem. Pretty radical.
Let's roll the clip.
So, how big is the Cuphead team? So they're working on a new Cuphead and they have another project in the
At
works?
Studio MDHR. It's Mighty Cuphead Adventure. A new fast-action platform shooter
A
with
GBA
arcade-style
game.
graphics and amazing sound. Mighty Cuphead Adventure.
Only from Studio MDHR.
Oh, I keep forgetting to exit these.
You know I love my puppets. That was great. And there you have it. 2 brand new games from Studio MDHR up in Canada with Mighty Cuphead Adventure, a true 8-bit action platformer coming to consoles and PC, and then a brand new hand-animated Cuphead game has been confirmed too. Great news. All right. Well, now please join me in welcoming my co-host.
Those are 2 really big ones to start with.
Looking for Game. It's Lucy James, everyone.
Unironically, starting with a Code Veronica remake. What? Resident Evil Veronica, I guess now. They dropped Code. And a new Cuphead.
Thanks, Jeff.
Pretty big.
I am thrilled to be back here at Summer Game Fest, and I'm excited to share in so many incredible announcements. Now, this next one is very special for me. It's a game we've all been waiting to see for a long time.
Half-Life 3, holy shit! Sega. Outside of Sonic, what else has Sega not delivered? Lost Planet 4. Lock it in. I'm calling it. It's Lost Planet 4. Creative Assembly. Probably not Lost Planet then. You buffoon, Lost Planet is Capcom? Is Lost Planet Capcom? I thought it was Sega. Oh.
Do you understand?
Oh, this is looking alien-esque now.
Yes. I understand.
Yep. Alien ISO 2. Actually massive. I need to replay the first Alien Isolation. It's been so long.
Hi, I'm Al Hope, Creative Director of Alien Isolation 2.
And I'm Anna Sophie, Art Director of Alien Isolation 2.
They're cooking right now, man. I'm gonna tell you what. Those are 3 big
We're
titles.
very excited to share our return to the survival horror genre. It's been 12 years since we released the first Alien Isolation, and we're continuing what we started, creating an authentic new chapter which builds on that core isolation experience of escaping the terrifying, unkillable, relentless alien.
And this time, we're unleashing the alien on an unsuspecting colony world. From the claustrophobic confines of the colony itself to the exposed and storm-ravaged landscape surrounding it, Kurosaki Station is a new hunting ground for the ultimate apex predator. Players will face a desperate struggle to survive and escape, and we cannot wait to show you more in the future. Thanks.
No, thank you.
Thanks so much, Anna and Al. Today, we are honored to have one of gaming's true visionaries here with us in the audience. For more than 2 decades, his work has reminded us that games can be emotional and deeply human. From Eco to Shadow of the Colossus to The Last Guardian, he has left an unforgettable mark on this medium.
I didn't like
Please
Last
join
Guardian,
me in
but
recognizing the legendary Fumito Ueda-san. Ueda-san, great to see you. And now, let's talk about his next game. A few years ago, we gave you an early glimpse at Ueda-san's next game, then known as Project Robot. Well, now, it's time to step deeper into the mysterious, unsettling, and epic world that marks Ueda's first game in a decade. Let's take a look.
They showed this quite a while ago. It looked very cool. It was just a teaser trailer, but it was exciting looking. That is 4 juicers in a row, man. Summer Games Fest came to play. Jeff Keighley rolled up his sleeves and said, "No more Mr. Highguard." Ah, why am I getting buffering? A little bit of real steel action. Even not liking Last Guardian, I still have an incredible amount of faith in this team. I think Shadow of the Colossus and Eco have really earned
Does that look incredible?
like the benefit of the doubt that it'll be good.
I cannot wait for genATLAS. Thank you, Ueda-san. All right, well, next we travel to the east.
Trailer looked
to
great.
China, circa 848 AD. Blood Message is a cinematic single-player action-adventure game from NetEase. You are a messenger who embarks on a perilous eastward odyssey with your son, fighting against impossible odds.
河西始于吐蕃5十余载，意其分歧，却从未有人坚守如我等之久。今日天枪大捷，以寡破众，陪对着当即首功。好剑，又进
Blood Message. They've shown Blood Message before. This is a deeper look, though.
阿爷，大人们说，只要河西归唐，你不打仗，也能守住我们的家。
再不投降，全部杀光！
So why don't I have an option for 1080? That's so weird. Because it's max here. That's odd. I was watching on YouTube, but the stream kept glitching. I think it looks good. I'll try YouTube again, but if it starts glitching, I'm just coming back.
The small bird-shaped ocarina to the young boy. Now, the young boy, much older, sits on horseback with the ocarina on his hip. The village has burned. Taxed. First hands-on preview begins tomorrow at Playdays. On stage, Lucy.
What is going on right now?
Now please welcome a game developer who is visiting the US.
I see. Hurry up.
Konnichiwa, 横山です。本日はストレンジャーズ・ヘブンについて新しい発表がございます。まずはこちらの映像をご覧ください。
Hello everyone, this is Yokoyama. Today,
Stranger Than
we have
Heaven!
an exciting new update about Stranger Than Heaven. First, please take a look at this.
調べたぞ、お前らのこと。海の向こうじゃアジア人ってんでのけ者にされて。日本じゃ毛頭扱い。俺は何人なんだって何度も思ったろ。敵討ちか。つまらねえことに人生使ってんだ。大統領。
この件にけじめをつけねえと俺の人生始まらねえんだ。
I keep forgetting Snoop Dogg's in this. What? What? Huh?
Crazy. Well, Yokoyama, we got a lot to talk about. But first of all, we have a release date.
本作の発売日は2027
Imagine they bring Tupac out on stage. I've been in hiding all this time, but I had to come out for Stranger Than Heaven. I'm doing the mocap.
Stranger Than Heaven will be released on January 15th, 2027. As you may have noticed in the trailer, we revealed some interesting new cast members. To tell you more about that, I'd like to bring out a special guest.
Please welcome Snoop Dogg.
I'm not gonna lie, for some reason I thought there was a chance. Please welcome Tupac. He's been in Japan this whole time.
Snoops, everyone's talking about this
What
game.
up,
It's so good to have you here, man.
That's crazy.
So you teaming up with Yokoyama. Tell us, how does this happen? Why do you want to work with RGG?
I mean, I'm a big fan of Sega. I've been playing that game since it first came out, and you know, to be associated with such a great game and such a great person like this and the team that they put together, it's an amazing, you know, feat for me. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Now we got to talk about.
He's also a big gamer.
Trailer.
He streams.
How's Tupac being a part of
That
it?
he plays some Madden.
You know, the Tupac estate.
Sometimes
my
forgets to
son
turn
and
it off.
myself, we work very closely together, so it just made sense to put him in this game because his likeness and his spirit still lives on, and I just feel like it was so connected to what we're doing. So, what y'all think?
Game looks insane. I'm sure you got more surprises in there too. I know the song sounds great. Well, we're looking forward to hearing more on Stranger Than Heaven. I also want to ask you though about something a couple years ago at TGA. You and Cordell talked about Death Row Games is something that you guys want to do. Any updates on what's happening there, DRG?
Yes, sir. Death Row Games, you know, we're building a hip-hop gaming universe, bringing an authentic culture to life, you know what I'm saying? And we just got a lot of plans that we're planning on actually bringing to life in the next, you know, couple of months.
Okay, well, we'll hopefully hear more on that soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Snoop Dogg. Thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all.
Yokoyama-san, Jamil, appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Fantastic. More crazy stuff to come. All right, next we're excited to announce the stunning debut title from a new studio in Sweden. HAEX is an open-world action-adventure game from key creators behind The Division and Little Nightmares. You brave the wild north as researchers stranded in a mind-bending, player-shaped procedural world. This is a very cool game. Take a look.
Potential for a Def Jam sequel. I thought that'd be such an easy layup, but I don't think they're doing that. I love Def Jam, man. I even like Def Jam Icon. But it's just been stagnant for so long now. This looks interesting. As long as it's not Extraction. I'm getting a strong sense it's Extraction, though. I feel like that'll be an Extraction shooter. Hopefully not, though. It does look interesting.
I can't wait to see more from HAEX. It looks absolutely stunning. We have much more SGF to come, but first on June 14th, Dead by Daylight is celebrating its 10th anniversary. Watch this closely because here's a little tease of what's ahead.
Cool trailer.
How old are you now?
The open beta's out? Has it been out, or is that like a new announcement here? Oh no, that's just new. They only had it on the docket as sometime this summer. Gonna have to try that. The first Mortal Shell was fine. The ending was terrible, but overall the game had a lot of potential. So hopefully 2's better. Damn, they got a lot of stuff just dropping right now. What was that? Sand?
Is it dangerous?
It's called Sand?
Edward. Privateering. Is it dangerous?
Raiders of Sophie. This is Windrose, right? Oh no, this is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I turned around and just looked and I saw ships. I thought it was Windrose.
But act according to our own collective madness. So I'll put it to the vote. All those in favor of storming this cove and taking this ship, stomp and shout aye! Can you feel it, Addy? We're moments away from the grandest prize of all.
After you, Captain. Path ahead is dangerous.
Don't save me a spot in hell, Shaka. I ain't
path ahead is dangerous.
Is this gonna trick Charlie into playing another Assassin's Creed game? I'm gonna play it. Black Flag was... What the hell? Black Flag was the last one that I liked in any capacity.
Welcome back to SGF. That was Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, which is arriving July 9th. Now it's time for the announcement of a game that reunites one of the best action game developers in the world with a legendary franchise.
PlatinumGames. Who's one of the most legendary action developers. Oh, it is PlatinumGames. I nailed it. Let's go. This is the Ninja Turtles song. It's the Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. Damn, we got PlatinumGames on The Last Ronin?
You guys having fun yet? We are just getting started.
I thought that shit was canceled.
All right, well, that's another TMNT game from PlatinumGames.
I don't remember enough about
I cannot
it.
wait to learn more about Last Ronin. Now, please welcome two-time TGA loser for Expedition 33 and Final Fantasy 16. It's Ben Starr, who voices the Visitor in Fortnite.
The Visitor in who the fuck is the Visitor?
Hello, Summer Game Fest. For the past little while, I have had the incredible opportunity to step into the world of Fortnite as the Visitor. And today, I finally get to share a glimpse of where that journey is heading next.
Fortnite
We've been
update!
working on this for a long time. A new season is about to begin, and everything is about to change.
Fortnite must be on hard times if they're doing a Summer Games Fest
coming
moment.
in Fortnite's next season, Runners, launching later tonight.
The hunt for power breeds chaos. And that chaos is spreading with these sprites. Creatures born from 0-point energy. They can make you stronger, faster, more dangerous. No one can resist that kind of power. So we must secure them.
No, it just repeated itself. Why is the YouTube stream glitching so much for me? It's not just you, everyone's glitching.
Now, if you're wondering how we end up on this new island, you'll have to jump into the Shattered event happening live inside Fortnite right after Summer Game. Event happening live inside Fortnite right
Yeah, it's
after
still
Summer Game
desynced.
Fest. This season, we asked every player to choose a side, and in the live event, that choice changes your experience. It has all been building to this moment. The party starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but the doors open early, and trust me, you'll want to stay to the very end of the event. I've got a little surprise waiting for you.
If it's Fortnite, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ben, I don't really care much, man. Oh, The Rock! Wait, I care again! The Rock! The Rock!
This ends now.
Okay.
Now it's
I'll wait till they
time for
fix it. I'll come back when they fix it.
Every breath taken is inside an armored shell.
I'm telling you, man, mech games are making a bit of a comeback. That's hype.
You're our last hope. The darkness coming for us. It remembers one man. The pilot.
Why is it? Is Twitch lagging or is the trailer they're playing lagging? Oh man, I can't tell if that's Twitch or the trailer. It's Twitch lagging. Oof. Desync on YouTube is fixed. Okay.
Find me. I'm here. Find me. I'm here.
Thousands of games launch every year, so finding your next favorite can be tough. That's why I'm launching my new newsletter, Looking for Game. Thank you.
Yeah, streams are just kind of
I'll be
wonky right now
curating
for
and
some
selecting
reason.
games that deserve your attention every week and sending demos and exclusive playtest invites straight to your inbox. Head over to lookingfor.game to sign up with player.gg. Speaking of fun, unexpected games, this next title comes from a solo developer, Adrián Mulero from Spain. It is a co-op physics game about two geese and one very fragile egg.
Okay, Hunky, ready to be a
So
parent?
they opened up with their heavy hitters,
worry,
and now
this is a piece of
it's
cake.
coasting a little bit.
Be careful with our little baby.
Don't drop it! Don't drop it! Careful! Careful! To left! Left! Your other left! Drop it! Don't drop it!
Oh my god, it's still desynced.
Careful! To left! Left! Your other left!
Okay, new plan. This is a good one. Are you listening to me?
What is this? It's way too hard!
This really is an extremely hard game.
Half-Life 3 is coming soon.
Congrats,
About to be
Team Win.
announced.
What a fun game. All right, now it is time for a debut game from a veteran team of developers who come from Naughty Dog and Infinity Ward and other amazing studios. Over the past half-decade, they've quietly been working on an ambitious new project. Here is the global announcement.
That's quite the resume.
People are endlessly disappointing. They're greedy. They're cruel.
Jesus, man.
They lie. They're bullies.
Yes, dogs? Yeah, I got one of them.
So that's what I say when I look at someone like you. Bully.
See, that's where we're different. I genuinely like most people.
Oh, well, then you're truly a sick fuck.
That's no move.
We need the move. I'll be coming for you.
Interesting title. It seems
You're not one of them anymore.
To not really fit it. Or is that the name of the studio?
Well, that's temporary. Just like you and me.
You guys don't understand the real threat. Not like we do.
That's the studio. Okay.
Hurry, stay low! If I go to work with my enemy to survive, so be it. For now.
Either we fight those things together, or die alone.
I have the phone. No. Do not touch him.
We fight together, or die alone.
It kind of reminded me of Graw. If anyone remembers Graw, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Wow, Crossfire. Didn't the last Crossfire they make flop hard as shit?
For over 18 years, Jacob and I have developed character-driven games with the goal of thoroughly connecting design and story. In Crossfire, two opposing operators must form a temporary alliance. Depending on one another is their only chance of survival.
To support this narrative, we completely rethought how cover and traversal work together and created a system that rewards tactical thinking, stealth, and repositioning. It's called adaptive cover. With adaptive cover, our player character Layla dynamically adjusts her stance to react to the complex terrain and the enemy's line of sight. It fundamentally changes your relationship with the environment and becomes an active skill to master.
Shout out to our amazing team at That's No Moon, who are meticulously crafting Crossfire. It's for all of you who, like us, love high-agency, single-player, story-driven games. Thank you.
Hey man, I'll give it a whirl, but it does look like just a pretty normal cover shooter game. Which, I'll tell you what, they don't make a ton of like that anymore.
Last year at the Game Awards, we introduced
more of like a 360 era type title.
Here's a new look at the mind-bending
world.
I'll
give it a whirl.
Control Resonant.
It's been 7 years. The oldest house has fallen. Everything we tried to contain is now loose in the streets of Manhattan.
FBC!
This is caused by a new type of hostile resonance. It is beyond anything that we can currently measure. It's all quite terrifying.
I'm optimistic for this.
And fascinating.
Interesting song.
All we can do is dig deeper, keep searching for the solutions in every way we can. Before it's too late.
I think that could be good. Everything they've shown from it looks pretty good.
Right now, it's time for another Summer Game Fest exclusive, the announcement of the next game in a storied franchise.
We all have our own reasons for coming to this vast frontier. But for our guild, We who protect this land. One reason stands above all others. Our wonder. You feel it too. We see
Oh, it's
it in your
lagging.
eyes.
Ugh.
Wonder at the astonishing power that shapes this land of awe. At the great spirits to whom we are bound. At the gods who hold dominion over all.
Guild Wars 3. Oh, it's definitely Guild Wars.
Your comfort,
Yeah, you're
or even your
1000%
safety.
right.
But if you yearn for horizons unexplored, for fellowship and purpose, for a cause worth dying for, to you, we can promise magic.
That's cool. I never got super deep into Guild Wars, but I think it's very cool that it's still going.
To everyone watching both here and live online around the world, I'm Colin Johansson, the studio head at ArenaNet, and I want to thank you for watching the exclusive first look at our upcoming game. The time is right for the next evolution of the MMORPG, and that game is Guild Wars 3. Glad you all agree. Guild Wars 3 is an epic world that is both beautiful and fun to explore, where the joy of movement is powered by your character's momentum, and combat will usher in an entirely new type of MMO experience. By launching on PC and PlayStation 5, we're inviting the biggest audience yet to experience the world of Guild Wars. We're so excited to welcome all of you to join our Guild Wars community. Go to guildwars3.com to sign up for our newsletter right now. Thank you.
They still sell Xbox? Kinda. Sells
Thanks,
a
Colin.
generous word.
Get ready to blast across the galaxy with daring races, dangerous rivals, and some very familiar
I'm gonna tell you though,
Star
like I said a
Wars
month ago,
Galactic Racer
Asha does at
is
least seem to
coming
be
this October.
trying.
And now
to
it's time to
correct
head
course.
to a brand new planet, Dervinacos. Now this is pod racing.
The new pod racing game. This one looked pretty cool. I liked the pod racing game on the PlayStation 1.
Where champions are born and losers annihilated.
I love that they brought that shit back and put it in pod racing game.
We've been making friends amongst our fellow League pilots. Racers don't go head-to-head against Bulba. Legends do. They are not your friends.
I've seen you at Kestar's side.
Stay out of my way.
Oh, this is the dream shape.
Man, I wish it wasn't lagging. Let me try YouTube again, because Twitch is really struggling with it too, but it really might be on their end. Oh, and it immediately desynced.
There's a reason why they call Kestar Pool the champion. The golden age of the Galactic League begins now.
Twitch audio, YouTube visuals. Yeah, have to mix and match. Tiny build. What are they cooking up? Let me see if this fixes it. Nope, it's still just desynced. Crazy. There's just nothing I can do. It's just on their end, I guess.
A few years ago, we announced Sega's plans to bring back many of its classic franchises, including Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi. Another one is Virtua Fighter. Today, we've got the first ever look at the surprising scale and scope of the next installment. This is Virtua Fighter Crossroads.
Such a forgotten franchise in the fighting game community. I'm very surprised they dusted it off. Alright, we can try and Frankenstein this, I guess.
They really weren't kidding about this being a fighting.
Are we talking about your ex?
I have to wait.
Hey, I've got an idea for you.
Hey,
damn, the YouTube stream's way behind.
Hungry after this morning, huh? Same as usual?
Or maybe not.
Hey, your sister's really taking this whole job thing seriously, huh, Divina?
Shit, I know.
Oh no, it's really
They weren't
behind.
kidding about this being a fighting town.
There's no way I'm gonna be able to sync that.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be living in Villa Sapara.
Kill them all! Hey, it's me.
There he is!
Shit. This is not gonna blow over, Cielo! You fucked with the Chinese mafia!
One more move and I'll cut her fucking head off!
Alright, just take it easy.
That's your...
Madam Sue? You play the part of a fighter, but you are lacking in kung fu.
Rise over the cries, city of blood.
The desync is really fucking it quite a bit. That was a cool time for the song to kick on, though.
Once you're inside, there's no surrender.
That's Pai Chan!
Who's Pai Chan?
What?
Use the Twitter stream. I don't think I can because I'm not logged in.
25 years since RuneScape was born, and 20 years tomorrow,
It's gonna be
Duriel
Dragonwilds.
321
I'll try.
wreaked havoc in Falador.
Did he just name
Finally,
drop
this
Duriel?
legendary universe is coming to console with RuneScape Dragonwilds,
Holy.
playable now on PC in early access. Here's a new look.
Few survive the land of dragons. But some seek more
I
than
can't pull it up
survival.
without being logged in.
They fight. They adapt. They build. They stride boldly into the unknown,
Go with
claiming
Facebook.
dominion
Does Facebook still let you stream? I thought they shut that shit down. Alright, I'm on their Facebook. Where does it go? Here it is. Okay. See if this one works.
In ebbing spring, the skies will clot. Our shedding seeds made piles of rot. Odions cast with tempers rare. Red minnows squirm in tainted clay. Three virtues known, not all we cast. For wrath, and doom, and death. Our last. Find me, Fawn, or I'll find you.
Soulframe.
Welcome to Brook Hollow Park.
It's okay, they're not actually monsters. We're just a lot
wow,
smaller now.
Grounded.
Clever girl.
Never got into Grounded.
You're looking at a living fossil.
Hey guys, you're gonna want to see this!
Please tell me that was your stomach.
Hold on to your buggies for a survival epic 65 millimeters in the making.
What the hell did we get ourselves into?
Some guys leave it to luck. Let it ride on a roll of the dice. Not me. You can have all the luck in the world. But what matters is the choice you make when the cards are on the table.
I didn't play the new Mafia.
Yes, that was indeed a young Don Salieri from the original Mafia. Man of Honor expands Enzo's journey in Mafia: The Old Country this August. Okay, can you imagine working on something for 16 years of your life? Back in 2010, the creator of Assassin's Creed set out on a journey to build his next time-bending epic.
Jesus.
Today, after many twists and turns, it is finally time for Patrice Désilets to invite you in to his new world.
Since the first Assassin's Creed, he's been working on this?
I was born to be the collector. To protect a world I cannot be a part of. Destined to be feared for what I am. It is my fate.
He really likes hoods. I was already very assassin
I have
coded.
devoted my life to facing them. Those granted the power to raise souls. Those corrupted by their gifts. Tilting the ancient balance toward cataclysm. But at last, their debt is due. Every choice, every breath has led me to this moment. As the moon bears witness, I take the first step. My time has come. I am ready.
Looks interesting. 666 Amsterdam. Oh, 1666 Amsterdam, huh?
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, everyone. 1666 has been a monumental and emotional journey. David Lynch once said, "The film is the talking." That's how I feel today about the game. Instead of explaining features, I'll simply say this. As of right now, the prologue is free to download on Steam and Epic Games Store.
Man, that's like the 4th drop they've done.
It's a 30-minute story experience and amuse-bouche, if you will. I'll leave you with a glimpse of what's to come when the game launches on early access later this year.
All right, that'll be good.
Join us for the journey.
I always appreciate when they do that.
Panache Kalis.
Spending 16 years on it, man. Shit better be good, bro. I'll give it a whirl.
Thank you, Patrice. Still to come, we've got a lot of great announcements for you, including a special surprise guest.
A new Saw game? They're dusting off the Saw games?
Wait, that's...
No
Billy
shot,
from
right?
Saw? Hey, Billy.
Hello, Jeff Keighley.
Hello.
I want to play a game.
I can't believe they're dusting off Saw games.
Perfect.
Roll the tape.
You heard the puppet. Roll the tape.
That's fucking wild. Now I gotta play the Saw games again. Oh, Bloober Team! They got Bloober Team on it.
They call you a monster.
Wait a minute, this might cook.
But I call you a prophet. Pain is our only true path to redemption. It strips away the lies that people tell themselves. Only then do they get to see what really makes them tick. A sacrifice must always be paid in blood. Live or die.
Oh god, no, don't be some kind of like multiplayer thing. If it's co-op or something, that's totally fine, but don't be some like quirky multiplayer shit.
Your book, bound in blood, inspires those who are worthy.
I really, really hope we're not looking at like an Outlast Trials.
Ever deeper.
I didn't hate Trials, but I would much rather just like a classic Saw game from like the 360. I'm so upset, bro. 3v1 multiplayer game.
Humanity's fate will be determined by one.
They fumbled that.
Sacrifice.
They really fumbled that.
We are ready to bleed, Bearer. Are you?
The
veil between...
Why does every horror IP want to be the next Dead by Daylight? Because it's had 10 years of being very popular. I see why they chase it.
You alone will decide.
Lords of the Fallen 2. Wishlist now.
Yeah, I'm looking at their Steam page. It looks like it's going to be like a...
That's right, Lords of the Fallen 2
either Dead
is
by
also coming
Daylight
to Steam
style
this
or
fall.
Outlast Trial
Next up
style, I
is a
can't
brand
tell.
new game from BitReactor, a studio formed by some of the most experienced developers in the tactics genre. This is Star Wars Zero Company.
Intelligence was just briefed of a separatist
Oh,
fleet
well.
massing in the Seralonis system.
I still should play through the old Saw
And we need
games.
to make our move. You got someone?
Zero Company.
What do you got for me, Bennett? Lord Silius. Coil's been spotted meeting with local gangsters. Find out what they're up to.
Looking like a new Battlefront.
She's at the center of it all.
All right,
At least the UI did there. Nope, the tactics game.
We work with all kinds of folks.
You think they'd make a new Battlefront?
Ex-separatists, ex-noble, ex-cons. And we're better for it. We're almost there.
I used to really like tactics games,
finish
but
this job.
I don't know. After XCOM 2, they just kind of stopped being fun.
General Skywalker.
A little surprise at the end there. All right, dark fantasy has always been about one thing, the monster within. And today, one of Europe's most ambitious studios is ready to take you into a brutal new world where vampires have emerged from hiding.
Come in.
Oh, shit! The box. Please.
Bro, get out of there, run!
You don't give up easy, eh? Well, neither do I. You certainly have reasons to hate me.
Oh,
my son.
They showed this, didn't they?
You've ruined my life. We crave
What the hell is the name of this?
Evil?
What do they call it? Is it like Dawn something?
Adore me. You're a pawn in Brent's
Blood of Dawn Walker.
Nothing more.
That's what it is.
This won't end well for you. I've done the unthinkable for my own family.
Determination is not enough to cheat your fate, Dawnwalker.
How many innocents did you drain dry? Maybe we aren't so different after all.
Hello everyone. My name is Konrad Tomaszkiewicz and I'm the game director of The Blood of Dawnwalker. What you just saw was an invitation to join us on an adventure. Adventure through eras and cultures in our story-driven open-world dark fantasy saga. The first part, a CGI, shows where our saga leads to, a present-day adventure.
Waiting for live video
The
signal.
gameplay segment that follows.
What the fuck is going
from
on?
our current game. And
Man, they are really just
it's
struggling
an
with the
origin
stream
story
today.
of Coin.
Twitch not working, YouTube desynced. Now Facebook too? The back? Nope. How about this? Is this fixed?
Thanks, Conrad.
is.
Next, the creators of Among Us have been hard at work on a new project. And today we're revealing it for the first time.
The Among Us team, what do they got? Ah, single-player story-driven Among Us game.
From the Among Us
Oh, they set
TV
up a
series,
whole
please welcome
set.
Veronica Brown and Liv Hewson.
And costuming. Gotta tell you, I think they probably should have done something not Among Us.
Hey! We are so excited about the future of Among Us. As crew members ourselves, our task is sharing even more good news about the animated series.
The animated series.
Yvette? Look, I know fans have been dying for updates, but there's a dead body right there.
Oh,
And the imposter could be any one of us. I think this calls for an emergency meeting.
oh, I see.
So you'd
This was
rather call a
announced last
meeting
year.
than complete our task? That's suspicious. I'll have to report this to Mira
Oh, it's available to
HQ.
watch now.
No, I mean, I don't think there's any need.
Take it up with admin. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Get hyped for chaos, betrayal, and more in the Among Us series. Enjoy.
I don't know. Probably not my kind of show.
Crewmates, our fellow mates of crew, hath perished. They would have
Why are you talking so weird?
Let me
yeah, but I just don't understand why you...
It's like a machinima.
The official cause of death, acute ripping off of the face. One dead crewmate, that's an oopsie. 3 makes it a murder mystery.
Any one of us could be the killer.
Was it you?
Whoever smelt it dealt it. If only there was someone who could take charge.
Wow, that was a lot of screaming.
Green, blue, orange,
Elijah Wood.
yellow, lime, cyan, black, and I'm red, the hot one. What's back there?
Oh, really?
Elijah Wood?
We're so happy to have you among us. Or is it amongst us? I always forget.
Would you believe me if I said some of our biggest surprises at SGF are still to come?
I mean,
Stay
Elijah
tuned.
Wood
And
does
it turns out
everything.
there's more coming from one of this year's best reviewed games, 007 First Light. Here's a first tease of a new story mission coming later this year.
We've received an urgent call from Aleph, James. King Bavma requests MI6's
They already
help
got
with a matter most
DLC for
sensitive and
First
asks
Light?
for you, personally. Our alliance with Bavma is fragile at best, but if he has what he claims to have, well, M figures the reward is well worth the risk. Go back to Aleph and find out what this is all about. Best of luck, 007.
Rock Origins. Oh, Armidas. I played that demo.
Brothers, the time is finally here. I know it's been difficult. All these years, the unbelievers mocked you for your faith. Tonight, we shall show everyone how wrong they were. Sleeper, awaken!
A Gothic remake? That's kind of hype. What? Was that already announced? That's like the first time I've heard of that. They're remaking Gothic? That was announced a while ago, was it? Yeah, I mean it's out now. Bro, so much shit just came out. I haven't played Gothic in so long. Yeah, exactly, it was for the speedruns, man. Gothic speedruns are so good. This feels like some kind of gacha game. Oh, Aeon 2! Man, they're really bringing out like the OGs.
I'm looking to find the source of the disturbance and end it. To do that, I need a complete picture. Maybe this is all a brain dance, a simulation?
Time to knock the rust off!
Maybe the two of you really are from another universe.
Let's say Arasaka.
Run.
This is big.
I'll erase you at the finish line. Deleting your ass.
Come on! Eat less, loser!
I can feel it.
Did they make a cyberpunk gacha game?
Discord is looking for us.
That's sad.
Lucy!
Oh, this is the Wuthering Waves collab. Oh, chat told me about that.
That was a look at what's ahead for Wuthering Waves and its collab with Cyberpunk Edgerunners on June 8th. Now, if you want to track all the games shown today, head to player.gg/SGF to see the full lineup and wishlist your favorites across all platforms. Right now, it's time for news on a massive expansion coming to a franchise that has been on this stage before.
I just don't really get into them. I don't like dislike them when I play them either. It's just I don't grind them or anything. Monster Hunter.
Wyveria negated the weight of buildings and mounted the sky.
I can't stop wondering, how can all this exist up amongst the clouds?
The environment with just their presence. A moving natural disaster.
Too powerful to tame. Too difficult to reproduce. Sounds like an elder dragon.
How long has it been since Wilds came out? Like 2 years? Maybe 3? It's about 2 years? Okay. Barely a year. Bro, you are extremely wrong. I've had the gaming channel for a year, and Monster Hunter Wilds predated that by quite a bit. Let's see, when did it come out?
It's all for nothing. Still, you press on.
Came out February 28th of 25.
Obsession! Step in a dream!
What a nice showman.
Howling gales! Soul-raping squall! Skies routing! Halberds from the vessel! To hand, see the trick I planned. Empty-handed I come, go, feast your
I like Souls games a lot. This looks pretty standard though. They're beating the shit out of the Master of Cantrip, but I'll tell you what. Ooh, that body slam.
disrupting my play? You know not your place!
Dream is over.
Swords of Legends, huh?
Take your time.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked a little too generic too generic sticking to the Souls formula.
That was a new look at gameplay.
I'll probably
from
still end up
Swords
playing
of
it, though. I play
Legend,
fucking
a
everything.
fantasy action RPG. There you saw a boss fight against Kong Kong Zi, with each move pulled from real centuries-old Chinese magic tradition. Now, how about a little toy car magic? Get ready for lots of loop-de-loops and massive jumps with the announcement of the
You like
biggest
Mortal
Hot
Shell?
Wheels racing game yet.
Yeah, Mortal Shell was fine. The ending was fucking painfully awful, but the game was fine. It was also made by a small team, so it's hard to hold them to the same standards as something like a FromSoft. And it tried to be different. Hot Wheels is back. How do you feel about a Godzilla game? I guess it depends.
Let's do it.
Big collab. I didn't play the Sonic Racing game, the new one. Holy! Look at all those names. They had SpongeBob in there and shit. Godzilla! We were just talking about him. Evangelion, huh?
Happy anniversary, Sonic, and happy birthday, Sega. All right, now the world premiere of a project that depicts the entire story of a famous anime from beginning to end.
What?
Dedicate your heart to this.
What? I just don't even understand how they would even... It comes out soon, too.
My friend said you can help me.
Some people are meant to be outlaws, Theo. Think about it.
I did all that for you to get out of trouble. Now I'm
plant fear or respect. You'll harvest one.
What a remix. These kind of games are always fun with friends.
We have lots more Summer Game Fest ahead, and trust me, you definitely will want to stick around. Right now, here's a new look at Sea of Remnants from NetEase.
Have we seen that? What is that?
Wake up laughing, half a mess, wrong direction, no regrets. Every face feels out of line.
Not really looking like my kind of game here so far.
We don't care, broken jokes and broken air. They say grow up at your age, with your side another flame. Make it out, don't look back. Burn this moment till it cracks. If this one won't let us stay, we'll steal this night. Make it loud.
Say we're lost, say we're strange, say we'll fade and drift away. But if memory lets us choose, I'll remember all of you.
Hands up, shout it out loud, nothing over the doubt. If tomorrow cleans the slate, let tonight decide on it. Make it out, feel the hand. This
So what is the game?
I don't need a perfect past, just a spark we're rolling fast. Make it out, don't look back, even if it doesn't last. If I lose it all someday, I'll keep it.
Wait. There we go. What do we? Oh, it's a turn-based game.
Make it loud.
In a world, in a room.
I think it looked like it was turn-based combat there.
Guys, is it me or is there something off with this one?
Yeah, he seems different. Has he always had that mustache? He doesn't have a mustache. Oh, yeah.
Hey, buddy, what's your deal?
Howdy. Name's Ryu. What's all this mess about me being
It's a
different?
co-op turn-based story
What in
game.
the Sam Hill? Everyone in Tokyo talks like this.
I know what this is. It's called a knockoff.
Well, Tarnation could a knock off do this? Howdy, Dukin.
Yikes.
The Capcom Summer Game Sale is here. Take home genuine, bona fide, 100% authentic, real deals on select titles. No knockoffs.
I can't do it if you're watching.
Uh-huh.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing the elite ranks of the Ark Society.
You know what it is.
Yellow paint. I hear they scared of it, but them pros ain't.
Wow. Waka Flocka, the newest elusive target, huh? Or not Waka, why did I say Waka Flocka? Wiz Khalifa, my bad, sorry. Couldn't remember who fucking sang that for a second. Wiz Khalifa. I haven't heard that song since fucking high school. Cut me some slack. I forgot. Okay. That's a cool pal. Better than anything Pokemon's doing for their games right now.
There you have it. Power World 1.0 is coming out on July 10th. Now, at the start of the show, I mentioned we'll have lots of new worlds to explore today and the return of some long-awaited ones as well. This next game falls into that last category. It's been a long, long, long 8 years.
If it was longer, I would have said it's Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Homicide.
Wolf Among Us.
6 total so far.
Wow.
Each case,
So
husband
they're
and wife
finishing
found.
it.
Shredded. People are dying. Some monster is out there. Word around the precinct is you're the guy to call.
Bigby. Sheriff, I'll have your job within the week.
Are you living under a rock?
You're a raging dumpster fire of a person.
You're the reason I'm here.
She's a detective.
Feels like it's been longer than 8 years.
Ready to get to work?
Oh, it's been 8 years since it was announced. Okay, I got you. That makes more sense.
Oh, no, I don't look human.
His lips are sealed, but I'm not helpless. See you around.
I was wondering when you'd turn up.
Looking for me?
Oh, they got a remaster. I need to revisit that. It's been so long since Wolf Among Us. Holy.
That's right, Bigby is finally back! And as we wait for his new adventure in 2027, check out the Wolf Among Us remastered this holiday. Now, this next game comes from an acclaimed studio that is deep into development on its next project.
Ye old trackside brew, eh? Cool looking world.
Bound for Nexus sector is now arriving. Please wait for everyone to exit before boarding.
The Captain America Super Soldier Serum.
Evie!
I'm listening.
Scarlet Sin. That's the beginning and end of it all. How about you try taking a hit?
You're acting a little strange today.
Oh yeah? It's our first mission in a while. Aren't you a little excited?
Stop saying weird things.
Okay, take it easy.
Quiet. They're moving.
Initiating C3 sync. Ready, Angel.
Roger, Kenna. Tracking.
출입문 닫습니다. Doors closing. How's it looking out there?
I can't stand crowds. It'd be better for both of us if we got out of here quickly.
In the movies, this is always where things go wrong.
Hey.
Well, just saying. It's a cliche. Wait, the target stopped.
Hearken! The false rain shall cease! In the name of the Father!
I thought for sure it was going to be a sword. New Stellar Blade, huh? They got tons of cash now. And like I said, I actually really like that studio. I don't know how many of you pay attention to them, but when Stellar Blade popped off, the head of the studio gifted every employee, what was it, a PS5, a new phone or something. He basically gave every employee like $2,500 worth of gifts and a raise. No, it's 1000% a new Stellar Blade. You can tell because in the gameplay there it had like the big blue circle. It's 1000% something new Stellar Blade. Blood Rain, huh?
That was a good one. Shift Up is returning to the world of Stellar Blade with an all-new sequel developed entirely by the original team that's here today. Set in the same universe as Stellar Blade, this next chapter continues the story beyond the events of the first game, introducing a new protagonist who you saw there, Evie. It's early in development, and we will have more to share in the future. All right, we're almost done, but not quite. It's been almost exactly 3 years since Street Fighter VI was released in June 2023. What's ahead? This is Street Fighter VI Year 4.
They already announced the Year 4 stuff, I thought. Or maybe I just saw like a leak or something about it.
Street Fighter VI is
I can't
already
recall what
entering
was on
Year
it.
4, but I can sense that we already have new challengers on the horizon. Fascinating.
Tifa! You can hear one guy in the crowd shaking his friends talking about
Please
Tifa.
welcome to the SGF stage, Nakayama-san, director of Street Fighter
I thought for sure this was already
Hamaguchi-san,
like
director of
revealed
Square
because I remember the
Enix.
whole Tifa talk, but maybe it was just opium. I thought they had already announced the Year 4 stuff.
皆さんのおかげでストリートファイター6は3周年を迎えることができました。そして本日ファイナルファンタジー7との特別コラボレーションを発表します。
Thanks to all of you, Street Fighter VI has reached its 3rd anniversary. And today, we're announcing the special collaboration with Final Fantasy.
ティファはですね、世界中のプレイヤーから愛されてきたキャラクターです。
だからこそ目指したのはストリートファイター6の世界で本当に戦っているティファの姿です。
Tifa is a character loved by the players all around the world. That's exactly why our goal was this, to bring to life a Tifa who truly fights within the world of Street Fighter VI.
衣装や動きまで再構築してストリートファイターのティファとして形にしました。マテリアもそのままではなく新たなバトルシステムとして再設計しています。
Everything from her design to movement has been rebuilt as Tifa the Street Fighter. Materia has also been reimagined as a new gameplay system.
そして今日はまだお見せできないんですが、ファイナルファンタジーの象徴的な要素もバトルに落とし込んでいます。
We cannot show it today, but we adapted an iconic Final Fantasy element to the battle experience.
ティファの戦いはまだまだ終わりません。ぜひこれからの展開にも期待してください。
Tifa's fight is far from over. We hope you all look forward to what's coming next.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you to Hamaguchi-san and Nakayama-san for
All
coming
right, Jeff,
all the way
what do
from
we got?
Japan to join us for that special moment on stage. Then we'll see you guys again later this year. All
He
right.
said it's a big
Well,
single
now
player
it has
one
come
at the
time
end.
for our final announcement. I know. What's it going to be, guys? Any guesses? No. And frankly, I don't know what I could say to set this moment up besides this. Get ready for the final battle.
Okay, Final Fantasy Part 3. You were right. The leaks were right.
Long ago, a shadow fell upon our planet. Guided by calamity, one man sought dominion through reunion. By his will, a star fell. A meteor called forth to bring ruin.
I still need to finish Part 2.
But our planet
I just didn't get into it as much as I did Remake Part 1.
Awakening mighty weapons to stand against this celestial threat. Now,
No, I'll finish it.
Hope
It'll go up on the
endures in
gaming channel.
Those who fight.
Long story short, the world's in trouble. It has been for a while.
So what are we waiting for? Let's give Sephiroth the beating of a lifetime. You're mine. I'll make this quick. Good night.
The sky's the limit!
I can do this. I'll make you proud.
Just ain't your day.
Oh my, is that a weapon I see?
Far as I can tell.
I really think they probably should have swapped the order. I think people would have been more hype about Resident Evil Veronica. I would have swapped this with the Veronica announcement, but I think he really wanted to just instantly come in there with a heavy hitter.
Cloud.
And I love Final Fantasy, but I really think just having Veronica as the finisher probably would have been the
Never would have
strongest
made it this
move.
far without you guys. And I won't let you down. I promise.
There you have it, and no, he's not done yet. Please join me in welcoming back to Summer Game Fest the director of Final Fantasy VII Revelation, Naoki Hamaguchi-san.
I'm back! ようやくですね、このファイナルファンタジー7リベレーションをマルチプラットフォーム同時で発表できたことを本当に嬉しく思います。ここまで来れたのも、この物語を信じ、待ち続けてくれた皆さんのおかげだと本当に感謝しています。
Just do story solid 15-hour
truly
game for
delighted
Rebirth.
to unveil
Sounds about
Final
right.
Fantasy VII Revelation, which is launching simultaneously on all platforms. And we've only been able to come this far thanks to every single one of you who continue to believe in this story and waited for this moment with us.
今作のテーマは決意です。クラウドたちは最後の戦いに進むため、それぞれの決意と向き合います。
The central theme of this title is resolve. Cloud and his companions each confront their own destinies and find the resolve to march toward the final battle.
そして私自身もこのシリーズを完結させるという決意を胸にこの作品と向き合ってきました。
I too have carried a promise in my heart throughout this journey, the resolve to see the series through to its very end.
皆さんに最高の形でお届けします。ぜひ見届けてください。
We're committed to delivering this experience in its ultimate form. Please stay with us and witness what lies beyond that resolve.
Today, to help guide us on our path, please show me in Welcome to the Stage, the voice of Vincent Valentine, Matt Mercer.
That's sweet. That's cute.
Thank you very much, Hamaguchi-san. It's truly a privilege to be here with you today, if you know me. There's honestly so much to see in Revelation. I think we just kind of need to dive right in. What do you say?
Let's do it. Take it away, Matt.
I don't mind if I do.
As we reunite with our heroes, the meteor looms in the skies above, a constant reminder of your mission, and the grave threats you'll confront as you embark upon your journey and face the epic conclusion of the Remake series. Aboard the Highwind, your very own airship, and the pride of the Shinra fleet,
I think
you'll
that was
take
pretty
to
clear
the
it would be.
skies and witness our most
Like I said, I would have
expansive open
swapped
world
it.
yet.
I think it would have been a
The outskirts of
stronger
Midgard,
note to go
the
out on with
sun-drenched Medea
Veronica.
archipelago,
New
to the
Resident
warrior
Evil.
nation of Wutai. Simply pick a direction.
That's all right, though.
Set sail. But
Came
how
out
can you be
swinging.
expected to protect the whole world at once?
A little bit of a
Need to
lull in the middle.
I am not jumping.
There were some decent ones sprinkled in throughout. I mean, I like Final Fantasy. I just didn't really like Part 2 that much. But I'll push through and finish the
Any
remake
moment
story.
In the open world, simply pilot the Highwind to your destination and take a leap of faith. With the wind rushing past,
I am actually
you
kind of
descend
surprised no
seamlessly
Devil
from
May
the sky
Cry.
above
I
to the
kind of
ground
had a
below.
hunch there'd be Devil May Cry 6.
Where will the winds guide you first?
I'm pretty
that freedom is in your
shocked
hands.
there wasn't.
But no matter your destination, to defeat your enemy, you'll need a fighting chance. And that starts with your trusted allies. At long last, with the world teetering on a blade's edge, everyone assembles at Cloud's side, forming an epic ensemble of heroes, each with their own story that brings you closer together than ever. But a good unit needs more than friendship to save the day. It needs a disciplined combat regimen. The hybrid battle system, established in Remake and refined in Rebirth, is perfected in Revelation, putting even more power in your hands. In fluid, real-time action, seamlessly switch between party members to even the odds. Then, when the fight calls for strategy, enter tactical mode to unleash a suite of powerful new spells and abilities. Activate devastating synergies with your companions. And of course, call on mighty summoned entities that can turn the tide of battle. Summoning Ifrit never gets old. There are truly some chill-inducing fights ahead in Revelation. I'm so excited to see all of your reactions. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm guessing you have a favorite character to play in battles?
Would you ever do the OG on stream for 7? Not on stream, but I do plan on doing it for the gaming channel, yeah.
Let's have a look at our newest coffin-dwelling companion, Vincent Valentine.
I am a huge fan of 7, 8, 9, and 10. They will eventually all be up on the gaming channel.
Vincent is
probably
a
once
gunslinger,
Nick makes
capable of
the
delivering precise,
all-in-one gaming
high-yield
console
shots.
black box for me.
But there's more to this secretive former Turk than meets the eye. The result of experimentation at the hands of Shinra. Vincent can transform into the Galleon beast at the press of a button, gaining tremendous power while transformed. And when combined with the skills of a certain
Isn't there a
pilot,
PS2
their
game on this guy?
high-impact synergies disrupt
Dirge
the
of
fight with ferocious
Cerberus.
results.
What you're thinking of?
The Leaping Lancer, the Dashing Dragoon, the one and only Sid Highwind.
Sid Highwind, the cantankerous pilot extraordinaire, joins the party and their mission to defeat Sephiroth. Sid's command of his lance allows him to rapidly close the distance for powerful strikes, or engage in sweeping area of effect attacks to bring a whole host of enemies to heel. But to fully control the battlefield, skill with a weapon only gets you so far. To further augment your combat capabilities, try this on for size. Function Integrated Tactical Suitwear, or the FITS system for short, allows you to further customize your playstyle with new uniforms imbued with unique movesets. Alongside your equipment and materia, FITS gives you an extra edge in battle. And to face what's coming, you'll need all the strength you can muster. Sensing its fate hanging in the balance, the planet itself has unleashed its last line of defense. The weapons, ancient beasts that are larger than life and capable of untold destruction. Will you be enough to stop them before it's too late? As the world is torn apart, you and your friends must unite. In Revelation, we come to the thrilling conclusion of the Final Fantasy VII saga, and your mission is clear. Take up your Buster Sword,
Is this the last remake
equip
for
your
7?
materia,
Yeah.
and stand together. One last time.
These skies belong to me. Hope you're ready.
Why do they split it into 3 parts again? If I remember correctly from the jump, they wanted to really dive deeper into the story of 7.
Thank you all. Thank you, Hamaguchi-san,
Because
for
Final Fantasy
bringing
VII
us this
itself
extended look
is like
at
a
Final Fantasy
really
VII
big
Revelation.
story, even in the
I
OG.
speak for all of us when I say
think the
we
idea was
cannot wait to play it.
dedicate a ton of hours to
We
like
ended
each
the
major
video too
section of
early.
the game.
I hate to leave a story unfinished.
Is that right? Well then, we better take a look.
Oh yeah, and you get to like really milk it. That's true. But to be fair, Final Fantasy VII is such a big game that you can realistically do 3 different games out of it. And they have.
At last, the promise is fulfilled. The journey ends here.
There you have it. Final Fantasy VII Revelation coming to all platforms next spring, which is appropriate for today because SGF is really a celebration of games across all platforms. Thank you to Hamaguchi-san, Kiru-san, and the team at Square for that very special announcement. And thanks to Lucy for a great job coaching. Didn't she do great?
No, maybe DMC next year.
Thanks, Jeff. What an amazing way to end the show, but that's not all, because coming up right now is Day of the Devs with a look at many new independent game titles, including multiple new game announcements.
That's right, tons of awesome indie games.
Or at
so
the
make sure to
Xbox
stay tuned and watch
showcase.
that, and we will see you live
I doubt
this
it.
August.
When is that?
In Germany for Gamescom Opening Night Live, streaming live on Tuesday, August 25th. Until then, have a great summer, everybody.
Thanks
It's
for
in
watching.
2 days.
Day of the
Okay.
Devs starts right now.
I don't know if I'll be able to watch party that one. I got something going on Sunday. It's Danny's engagement party, so probably won't be able to watch party that one. Honestly, though, like the first 6 games they announced were the best. Yeah, they went on a crazy streak off rip. Got a lot of new games to play, though. Like, to try. The Mortal Shell beta, that Sand game, that Assassin's Creed guys game, the 1666, and then Gothic 1 Remake. The whole thing dropped. I wonder if I wonder how Gothic's aged even in a remake. What do you think of the show overall? It was an incredible start. I don't think it needed to be 2 hours. I think if they had made it like an hour 15, hour some change, it would have, like, I think unanimously people would have been like, wow, they fucking crushed it because of how many heaters they had out the gate. But because they went on for quite a while, they had like a lot of games that people weren't exactly excited about. So it just went too long, so then people forgot about the incredible games they showed at the beginning. Unlucky. We already know about most games. Not in the beginning. Those are some brand spanking new ones, like actual big reveals. Like, there were rumors of them, like the Code Veronica remake and ISO 2. Stellar Blade God Hand went crazy. I mean, it looked cool. And Wolf Among Us 2, also cool. That's what I'm saying, man. If they had just trimmed some of the fat, like, in the middle, condensed it so that way it didn't go for 2 hours, most people would be remembering all of, like, the really big game reveals they had, instead of, like, oh, here's Fortnite with The Witness. Not The Witness, that's Destiny. The Visitor, and shit like that. I also really just don't think it's a good idea to be doing like the Street Fighter 6 stuff towards the end. Like, the Street Fighter 6 shouldn't have been the penultimate announcement with the year 4. I just don't think updates are ever like a good slot to be towards the end where it's really important to stick the landing. I get why they did it because of Tifa, but even still. True, the Among Us game should have been last. You're so right. What was one game you were hoping to look for? That's what I was saying. I was for some reason I kind of bought into the idea that there really might be a DMC6 reveal. But I imagine they probably haven't even begun working on that. So it's probably unrealistic. Gears of War E-Day on Sunday. That's true. Gears of War E-Day. No Sly Cooper announcement, revival announcement, sadly. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. There was some hopium there. The Astrobot devs tweeting out the Sly stuff or whatever. I didn't actually see it. That's what chat was saying. Xbox Showcase is 1 p.m. Eastern, by the way. I gotta double check when Danny's engagement party is, but I think it's probably smack dab in that ballpark. We see the constant "we want Destiny 3" spam. Oh, they were doing that for the PlayStation one too. That one's kind of crazy because it is genuinely confirmed they are not working on a Destiny 3. They haven't begun pre-production or anything. That one's got no juice to it, unfortunately, as sad as that is. Kingdom Hearts. What about Kingdom Hearts? Some Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff. That probably won't be shown for quite a while. Not that I'm overly excited for it. I hated 3 so much. Are we gonna do a Mass Effect trilogy playthrough on the gaming channel? Yeah. Yeah, I still never actually played the fixed endings to Mass Effect 3. I only ever played the base endings. So I need to do that. You gonna play the last D2 update? June 9th? Yeah, I'll be there. Oh, that reminds me. I was gonna do the final campaign since I did the final raid. When is June 9th? Is that Tuesday or Wednesday? Yeah, I already did the Onimusha demo. It's going up on the gaming channel in just a little bit. When the fuck is it? It's Tuesday? Okay. Then Monday, I'll try and bang out the final campaign so I at least get the ending to Destiny 2. Would you do a Final Fantasy series marathon like you did with Resident Evil? I already said I would do that for all of the numbered entries. If I did every Final Fantasy game, including spin-offs, it would be longer than the Resident Evil one, I think. I think it's like 60 games or something. There is a YouTuber who did that, but for me, I just do all the numbered ones. And I do plan on doing that at some point. Probably once Nick finishes my black box all-in-one console. It'd make it very convenient and quick. $30-hour plus playthroughs, 16 totally doable. It is totally doable. What are you talking about, man? It is totally doable. Absolutely is. How long did the Halo Marathon take? That's not fair to even bring up. It was very fast until we finished the Bungie games. We just didn't want to do the 343 ones. So we took a break. And then I ended up having to do them by myself because Matt was uninterested in doing them, which is fine, I get it. Hey Giga, good to see you. Is the all-in-one console just going to be all the consoles in a cabinet connected to a switcher, or will it be soldered together? I told Nick I want it to look as, like, over-the-top fucking stupid as possible. I want it to look like a Codename Kids Next Door gadget, so I want, like, fucking levers and pulleys and shit. I do want it to look like the Hit It Joe machine. So I don't exactly know what it's going to look like, but I'm hoping it's monstrous. What's the next marathon you're starting? I'm going to finish Rainbow Six Vegas 2 next. Because I already did 1, but I forgot to do 2 right after. So I'm going to do that to finish that off. Then... what did I say I was going to do after that? I can't recall. I already said which one, and I can't remember now. No, it wasn't Gears, because I was waiting till E-Day has a release date. Which it might get on Sunday, I guess. Fuck did I say I would do? Did I say GTA next? I can't recall. It might have been GTA. No, it wasn't Devil May Cry. I mean, I'm going to do Devil May Cry, but it wasn't the next one I was going to do. No, GTA was when pre-orders start. What the fuck did I say the next one I was going to do is? It was a shorter one. Damn. No, it wasn't BioShock. No, it wasn't Metro. Metro was one I said recently because of the new one coming out. Man, fuck, I cannot recall now. Is there a clip? I doubt it. I don't remember. Ninja Gaiden. No, I said that was another one I forgot to finish, but that wasn't the next one I was going to start. That'll be one that I eventually finish. Because I didn't finish 3 and... or I finished 2 too close to 4 coming out, so I didn't get to do 3 and Yaiba. I remember that. No FromSoft news? Nah. No Duskbloods or anything? No rush. We'll figure it out. What the next one is. I want to play these demos and betas that just dropped today. But I want to get food first, so I might go get some food, get a lift in, and stream again later tonight, or just do it tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. But either way, I am going to go get food and get a lift in. I'll either see you later tonight or tomorrow. Have a good evening. See you soon. Bye-bye. Make sure to smash that like button and thumbs up, ring the bell, tell your mom I said hi. Yeah, that's about it. See ya.